Okay, welcome everybody to today's class. We're looking at advanced phrasal verbs and idioms again. These are all taken from a book called Advanced Phrasal Verbs and Idioms, or Advanced Idioms and Phrasal Verbs, by Stuart Gaines and Ruth Redman, I think. But you'll find this book if you just put it into Google, Advanced Phrasal Verbs and Idioms. It's Oxford University Press. And we're already up to chapters 43 and 44. But if anyone would like a book about phrasal verbs, there is one available that I've produced. You can find it on Amazon. It's £20 for a black and white copy, and you get loads of exercises and images and lots of answers at the back as well, so you can check the answers yourself. But if you prefer to get an electronic version, you can get an electronic PDF version on skype-lessons.com. So please just go to my website and buy the PDF. It's £20 for the PDF or £20 for a black and white version of the book, or £35 for colour. But thanks, that's all I'm going to say about it. Let's get on with the lesson. So if you fall for, well, let's make one thing clear. If you fall for somebody, you fall in love with them, okay? If you fall for somebody, that means that you fall in love in some kind of way. So there is that phrasal verb, fall for somebody. But if you fall for something, then you have been deceived by a trick. Somebody has played a trick on you and you have been taken in. You have been tricked. You have been fooled. You have been deceived in some kind of way. So please, I hope none of you out there fall for any scams. Everybody knows there are a lot of online scams where somebody sends you a letter claiming to be a prince from Nigeria, and they tell you that you have inherited $1 billion, and they want you to get in touch with them and give them your bank details. Now, of course, I recommend that you don't do that, because if you do that, you will fall for a scam. You will be the victim of a scam. But if you fall for somebody, you fall in love with them. So there are at least two meanings to that phrasal verb. And I'm pretty sure that it is in the book. So please do get the book if you're interested in it. And thanks for whoever was just saying that it's a good book. I'm really pleased you like it. Now, if you're taken in, you're deceived, you're fooled. So it's exactly the same as the first one. If you vote with your feet, this is an expression that we use, which means that people will let you know if they like something or don't like something, basically by turning up. If they turn up or show up, and please remember those two phrasal verbs, they're two excellent phrasal verbs meaning appear or arrive. If you turn up for, maybe you've got optional lessons at school, maybe there are optional English classes after work or after school, and you might find that people vote with their feet. In other words, if they like the classes, lots of people turn up, they vote with their feet. And if they don't like the classes, hardly anybody turns up. In other words, they vote with their feet, yeah? And so we use this expression to say that people arrive or don't arrive, and by doing that, they show whether they like something or whether they don't like something. So quite a common idiom. Now, we say no disrespect to somebody, usually just before we criticise them. Yeah, so if we've got some kind of critical comments to make about somebody, some barbed comments, some scathing remarks, some derogatory comments, we usually say no disrespect to this person, but I'm going to slag this person off. I'm going to criticise this person. I'm going to say bad things about this person. So this is to soften it. It's to make our criticism sound polite. Before we criticise, we say no disrespect to you, but you're an idiot and I don't agree with anything that you've said. Something like that, yeah? So put it right at the start, just before you lash out at somebody with all sorts of barbed comments and scathing remarks. Okay, now to put it mildly means to put it softly, to put something in softer terms. So very often this is used when you say something like this. He earns an incredible amount of money, and that's putting it mildly. And so you're saying that it's even more than incredible. It's absolutely huge, the amount of money that he earns. And so you often put this at the end of an extreme sentence anyway, to show that it's even more extreme than you were first saying. Yeah, and so you might say something like this. the weather's absolutely atrocious today, and that's putting it mildly. Yeah, and it means absolutely terrible weather we've had. It's been chucking it down all day with rain. There's been thunder, there's been lightning, there have been floods all over the country. Maybe people have died, yeah? Because this is really to make something even stronger. You say, you know, we've had atrocious weather, and that's putting it mildly, or to put it mildly. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now, if you rip somebody or something to pieces, to shreds, pull them to pieces, tear somebody to shreds, an animal can do this, of course. Something like a bear can certainly rip you to pieces. They can certainly pull you to shreds. Okay, so that's one way you can use it in a literal sense. But you could also use this in a metaphorical sense when you're referring to criticism. And so if somebody criticizes you, you could say they tore you to shreds. Yeah, and it would mean that they really got stuck in. They really said all sorts of really nasty things about your work or about what you've done. So they really made some really sharp criticism, yeah, of your work or whatever. So it can be used metaphorically as well as literally. Now, if somebody criticises you and you take it personally, that means that you take it to heart. We very often say that. Don't take it to heart. Don't take it personally. And so if you take it personally, you get upset. Yeah, you get really upset when somebody's criticised you, when perhaps you should be a little bit more stoic. You should perhaps just not get upset and try to understand that that person's getting emotional for their own reasons, and it's not anything to do with you. It's perhaps some kind of complex that they have, or some kind of problem that they have, and they're projecting it onto you. So please don't take criticism personally. I think I will often take criticism personally, especially if it's on these videos. And I'm sorry about that if I happen to ban you, because I do ban very quickly. It's just because I take criticism too personally. And yeah, the easiest way to deal with criticism if you're making videos is just simply to ban somebody, because then you never have to talk to that person again, and you never have to hear their comments again. And that's one way of dealing with things. Just switch off, just forget about them. Okay, if someone jumps down your throat, that means they suddenly start criticising you. It means they've suddenly started saying bad things about you for some reason or other. And so, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of different situations when you could use this, but when somebody suddenly lashes out at you, suddenly has a go at you, very good suggestion. Have a go at someone. When somebody jumps down your throat, they have a go at you. It's exactly the same. I agree. So very good suggestion, Luis.